What's happened in the LCV market, and what are you seeing? Because you mentioned before there's a few more coming on. Is it from a supply and also from a pricing perspective and a condition?
So there were some real challenges with a lot of those. There's not too many bad LCVs out there these days in terms of utes. It's a very competitive space. A lot of them just about, I think they're all 5-star rated, so they can all work mine sites if they really need to and the like. So really competitive space. There was some particular production challenges that they had, and I think that's all not as much of an issue now, but every one of our big fleet customers has a lot of exposure to the LCV market. I think we're probably overrepresented from an LCV mix of what we would see just due to the makeup of customers that we have and our customers the fleet companies have. So compared to what might be sold from at a BFAX level, so we've got a lot coming through, but so the prices on those have actually come down faster than the passenger cars and the SUVs in particular, So, and I think that's just due to you're right, Mark, the way in which there's more kilometres on them. They're often workhorses, right? So the typical 5-year 120k Hilux Ranger, etc., is probably now more like closer to 6.5, 7, closer to 200,000 kilometres. And so there's a fair amount of that volume that's come through, which has often got a bit more unfair wear and tear, needs a bit more love. So the trade, when they're looking at them, they're being a bit more selective, I suppose, before they're buying them. And because they do need a bit of work, and even just some of that, in a lot of states we're hearing just getting panel repair done and the like, everyone's having trouble recruiting staff left, right and centre in whatever industry, but, and parts supply is still a challenge in some of those areas as well. So I think that's part of it too, is the trade, when they're looking at them, a bit more selective around what they want to pay for those assets. So, and there's just a bit more of volume there. So therefore, it's probably magnified the reduction in the LCV area. So it'll probably take it. It's certainly depreciating faster. We think that area will probably get back to the normal pricing, and I'll talk about normal pricing in a sec if you like. In the future, faster than say SUV and passenger. We've sort of put a bit of a stake in the ground. We feel like the used car market's going to normalise itself in about the end of 2024. We feel like that's going to be about 10 to 15% higher than COVID, though. We could see even pre-COVID, from 2016, 17 onwards, used car prices were growing. There was a trend of them heading north, with RRP increases, more tech, more innovation and the like coming into cars, and we could just see, and with 2017 being the highest used vehicle record, vehicles on record, albeit 2023 is probably going to beat it. The used car park was at that point shrinking because there wasn't as many new cars coming in 18, 19, 20, and therefore that was another compounding factor that with that used car market shrinking, it was putting pressure on used car prices heading north. So we feel like prices will level out at about the end of 24 and about 10 to 15% higher than what they were pre-COVID.